Hey guys, so bad news. Our
Story time.
Our basement flooded, and today we want to tell you the story of how that happened.
We have only been living in our brand new home for
2.5 years?
almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And so it was a little shock when we came home to a flooded basement. But first we're all kind of, well, I am
You are
spruced up.
right now.
We are, the doorbell's ring. This is the story of our life. Do you want to go answer the door?
Oh, it's, you know what, I know exactly what it is.
While Jared answers the door, I'm just gonna talk for a minute. This is how every single day has gone. It just is not planned. It's so interrupted. It's been an awesome month. We've had a lot of family in town, but I also feel like I can't breathe for a little bit. So Jared and I are going to go on a really quick little overnighter. My mom's gonna watch the kids, so I spruced myself up so we could go to a little dinner tonight and then come home and figure out our carpet situation. So, what's up, Jared?
I'm back. Sorry, the kids wanted to borrow the Segways. So,
Our neighbors.
all right. So the story, here's what happened. We went on our family reunion trip and we were so excited and we felt like we had done everything that we possibly could to prevent any bad thing from happening because last year we got robbed. This year, you already know that as we were driving to the family reunion, we got a rock in our car and it was making this terrible shrieking noise and we had to take the tire off. We spent, 45 minutes trying to fix that. All in all, it was okay. We had a great time at the family reunion. We came home early in the day. It was perfect to unwind and get things unloaded. And lo and behold, Ellie walked downstairs and the rest is history.
I had just told Calvin to keep the food in the kitchen, so I thought that he had spilled a cup of water downstairs. So as I stepped in a puddle of wetness, I thought, oh, Calvin, you didn't listen to me. And so I went, Calvin, come here. And as he was coming downstairs, and as I was like figuring out, oh, this isn't Calvin's
This
mess,
is a lot more wet.
then I went to open up our storage room door and I couldn't open it. And I thought, oh, what is wrong? The door frame was warped. And so it was hard to open up the door.
So when water gets in wood expands, and so the door frame all the way around the outside of the door, you had to push, but it had expanded, so you couldn't open it. So that's when I came in, and I'm running up like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Ellie's freaking out and calling my name. I try and get the door open, and finally have to lay my shoulder into it, and we opened the furnace room door. And what we find in there is insane.
You just hear the water. It's just like...
It was a loud mist. It was spraying everywhere. All of the sides of the furnace room were sopping wet, like the drywall and everything.
Everything's warped. The carpet was just soaking wet. And it was all so when we moved, we had a box. So for almost 3 years, this box that sat there that I had not unboxed, it was like some piano stuff.
So are we technically not moved in?
Technically not. Now we are. We got rid of the box. Everything that was in it was garbage anyway, so we got rid of that. It just gave me an opportunity also just to clean out house too. So
you can see that we took out pillows, we took out decor, we had boxes. There were so many things in there that were salvageable, but a lot of things that were special to us that got sopping wet that we couldn't save. When something terrible like this happens, I feel kind of embarrassed, but at the same time, I'm really grateful. Ellie's like, call Joel. So of course we called Joel. They just got back from the reunion too. Joel's experienced with this kind of stuff. He's worked in this kind of field for a while before in his past. And so we looked at it. We were able to identify what the issue was after we took a shower in the furnace room because there was so much water.
So as Joel went into the furnace room, he's like, okay. At the time, I was just overwhelmed. So of course, I didn't really even know what to do other than just to start taking stuff off the wet carpet.
Right.
And he's like, you need to call this place for them to air out the carpet and stuff. So I called the people, they came over and cleaned out, and that was what was disappointing and sad to us, is there was more damage than we thought.
So we'll get to that in just 1 second. I totally forgot. One thing that I did that I was very happy about, I turned off the main water to the house. So luckily, not too much more water was spraying after we found it. it's amazing how much water can hold inside your house just in the pipes, because I turned the water off and it still sprayed for a good amount of time. But luckily that finally turned off. But that allowed Joel and I to really get a good look at what was happening. We were hoping it wasn't like a pipe burst, something that was manageable and easy to fix, not like an actual whole appliance. And what we found out, it was this guy right here. This was the bad news of everything. This is the elbow piece that connected the water to a pressurizer in the furnace room. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll notice right here, right at the tip of my finger, there is a crack. And that crack goes all the way inside to here. So Joel and I, we went to the hardware store and we actually got a brand new piece for this, as well as some crimpers so we could cut the tubing, put this on. We got a ring and that crimped it back on, and then screwed this back onto the pressurizer. So it only took a couple pieces to fix everything. It was pretty easy, but those tiny little cracks caused a lot of damage. And
Joel said it probably was dripping for a few days for it to be that wet.
That's what I was gonna say.
It was into like our toy room. They've had to rip the carpet up to that wall. So I mean, it just soaked. Yeah, there was so much water from such a small crack. Yeah, we have no idea how long the water was actually there without us knowing. We don't think it was at least there too long before we left for the family reunion. We think it happened while we were gone. It was one of the smaller floods that the people had seen. Oh yeah, it could have been so much worse. Normally they would air out your carpet and maybe replace the padding underneath, but we actually have to get some new carpet because when it was laid, it was cut a little crooked, and now that they ripped it up, they can't lay it down. It needs to be straight. What happens is when your carpet gets flooded, it's not really the top layer that is damaged so much, it's the padding underneath. That just holds all of the water. So automatically we had to get rid of that. And in order to get to that, you have to cut the carpet up. They cut it at an angle, which is really unfortunate. Like Ellie said, we have to replace that. So did they cut it at an angle? So we need to figure out if our house insurance will cover this, or if the people that cut it crooked will cover this. We should not be getting out of town right now. Seriously, we should be here figuring it out. We've also had people staying with us literally from the 1st of July on and off. And so the last few days we've loved having our nieces and nephews here. But today, this morning, I went cross-eyed and I was like, what do I do around here? So I think it'll be good to like get away, close our eyes for just like a minute. Yep. Literally, we're gonna be gone for 8 hours. We're gonna go sleep, wake up, eat breakfast alone, and then get back into reality. This is gonna take a quick breath so we can gird up our loins and really get back into it. Where are we now? The fans have been running for a couple days, which has been really nice. The carpet is all dried out. Some of the floorboards have been cut out and they need to be replaced. Then we have to get new padding for the carpet, and we have to get new carpet to go over the top. So you can see that's where the line where they cut the carpet, and it goes all the way back here and kind of folds down this way. And then all of this carpet got pulled up as well all the way around there. This door right here was hard to open, but this door right here was the hardest to open, and you can see they took off some of the paneling on the side to make it easier. We took off of these doors, obviously, so we could have better access in here. There wasn't really any standing water in here because of that drain, but this wall all the way up was just sopping wet. You can see this blue pipe. If you follow it up, it meets to the head of this pressure tank right here. The elbow going down into the tank is where the leak came from, where that brass piece was. And it was spraying all the way down here, down onto the walls. Luckily, none of this stuff got wet. Now, what do we do to prevent this from happening again? That is a big question. And I feel so dumb about this because I literally did it to your dad's house a few months ago. I set up water sensors in his furnace room. And guess what?
I didn't do it to my own, and that could have saved us so much headache. So we got these sensors that have...
How much were they?
They're $20 each, and they hook up to your smartphone, so you automatically get notified when something happens. They've got sensors on the top and sensors on the bottom, so if a spray happens and it doesn't actually flood, you get notified that way. Or if a flood happens, you've got coverage both ways. $20, Best Buy, really, really great reviews. So I'm gonna be setting those up before we go. So in case something happens, we'll be notified.
It's crazy. And the thing is like, we're the kind of people where it's like, oh, the newest gadgets, we wanna try it out. Like we've always been that way. And so it's like, we have our security system and we like the gadgets. So it's funny that we didn't have that.
Yeah.
Because you usually like that kind of stuff.
And it's always better to play offense and be ahead of the game than backpedaling and playing defense. That's something I should have done when I got the security system. When I set up all of the Wi-Fi stuff, it's like, okay, what do you think? So my suggestion to you guys, if you don't already have water sensors, get them now so you can prevent yourself some headache. Same thing with like the garage door automatically closing. Same thing with your locks around the house. But really what it comes down to, it's a small upfront cost to prevent a big disaster. This piece right here, I think was like $20-30. It's a brass piece. These can fail. So it's just best to have precautions in place. So save yourself some time, get some water sensors. But guys, that is the story of how our house flooded while we were at our family reunion.
That's crazy. We were so sad to come home to it, but also glad that it could have been worse. So
it could have been so much worse, and I'm happy that it wasn't. So please give a thumbs up on this video for our heart's sake, or whatever that is. And while we take care of this, while we take a little breather, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.